Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Joey Moments podcast. My name is Joey. I have Joey Moments, and I'm joined today by my friend Z, Javier, Zed, Anime Man. This is take like 4. I think we've had there were like 4 video files for this. Yeah, I'm going to keep it on until you're done talking. I want to make sure that we fixed it. We recorded for about an hour?
About 55 minutes.
Yeah, and that version of the podcast is lost to time. I have everything. Well, I have the bits and pieces. The audio cut out really early, and then the other 2 files that it got were both really fragmented.
Oh, okay.
Like there's not a whole lot. There's like a minute and then like 35 seconds, and then it died. And then it died. So there's a 32-minute file. There's a 1 minute and like 51 second file, and there's like a 35-second file, which is, my fault. We should have checked the battery level on the pod track. And then the camera ran out of storage. So I thought that was 128 gig SD card, the same one that I have for the pod track. That is only a 32 gig SD card. So I will have I'll replace that this week. But yes, so this is the second full take of the podcast for this week.
Part 2.
This is part 2. And it's just kind of funny that happened. Technical difficulties will arise with anything that you do. So especially when you're me, we'll just, we call those Joey moments.
For a reason.
Yep. This week we're recording on the 22nd of June for release on the 24th of June. Z, how are you doing today? Besides the fact that we've sat here talking for well over an hour at this point.
It's been an interesting day so far. I went downstairs. I went and did some laundry. Cortana, which is one of our cats, or one of our roommate's cats, JC's cat, the black tuxedo. And she's just been meowing all day.
She's in heat.
She's in heat, and you know how she usually just meows and it rubs up against everything, dude. She was fucking screaming at me.
No, it's getting worse. Like the past 3 times, it's gotten progressively more and more aggressive. But I guess I'm glad that when she got out for the 2 days that she was out of the house, I'm glad she wasn't in heat then.
Yeah, she would have came back pregnant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
like, fuck you, Dad. I'm going out to get fucking
railed. Yeah. And instead, she just killed a bird.
Yeah.
So, and then hid under the shed. It's definitely been an interesting morning so far. I was planning to be done by this point. Maybe be in the lunch period of the day. Maybe I'll go grab something to eat. And it's definitely not happening.
Nope.
By the time we're done, it's going to be too close to us going to Lincoln. I might go grab something small or make something small, but...
Or you can just go ahead and head down to Lincoln around 3 o'clock, go a little early, have some Taj Ali.
Well, I'm driving people. I have a full car.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm driving myself down, so.
I don't think they would all want to stop at Taj Ali on the way there. I'll probably be able to convince them to get it on the way back, because I'm basically going to be like, hey, I only go to Lincoln, once a year at this point.
They'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. Because like I said, the little event is close to downtown anyway, right?
Yeah. It's the same place it was last year, I think.
I didn't go last year.
It's over on Y Street.
Yeah, so it's downtown.
Yeah. So it's like Y Street Market. Which is going to be fun. I'm really excited for that because it was a really good time last year. I think Tarek's going, and I think Braden is going as well, and I think we all kind of talked a little bit about going to Taj Ali after. Taj Ali is a restaurant, if you couldn't tell.
It's a very good Arabic restaurant down in Lincoln.
Yeah, but with, obviously with our friends, and the way we've talked on the past 2 episodes, that could have been a bar. It really could have been. This week's probably going to be a little less focused on the drinking side of things because we really don't drink too much. But I guess to get that out of the way, we'll talk about Sapporo for the second time today. And I guess I can kind of reiterate the same kind of things. It's a good beer. I like it. It has a very, I don't know if grainy is the right way to describe it. Almost like a very weedy taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
And there I am saying a billion times again. It's been so weird this morning. You finished yours. Oh, you're almost done.
Almost.
I really did not
3/4 in.
drink a whole lot on the first take, so I guess I'll have to drink a little bit more on the second.
I absolutely love this beer. It's my favorite import beer. First, I'm not sure how to describe it outside of it just tastes good. Every other beer that we have in the United States is kind of like piss water. So,
Like domestics?
yes,
That's fair. It depends on which domestic you're getting.
I mean if you
Like,
really
is
think
this
about
your
it,
favorite import? Like across the board? Like we're talking like all imports, not just like Japanese imports, but we're talking like
all
like
imports.
cervezas, German beers. Really,
Yes, 'cause
Sapporo tops the list for you.
It tops the list because it's a light beer while being good. I'm not a huge fan of lagers at all. Ales are kind of eh. IPAs I don't like. It's more of just it's a beer that I can drink and enjoy. Cause like you said, domestic beers aren't that great. We have Bud Light, Budweiser, fucking Michelob Ultra, which is good. Stellas are okay. Miller Lights are gross. It's just
You're missing a lot of domestics. But yeah,
I'm missing a lot of those are ones I can name off the
like
top
you
of my
have
head.
like Sam Adams. You have Shiner. Shiner's a domestic.
Shiners are okay.
I really like Shiners. Shiners are still my top beer. I think that and Pacifico's, but Pacifico obviously is not a domestic. Pacifico is an import. It's a cerveza. I really like cervezas a lot. That like my favorite beers, like in my top 5, are littered with cervezas. I would probably say right now Shiner Bock is number 1, followed by Pacifico, followed probably by Modelo with lime. Modelo without a lime, I can't get behind. I don't. The enhancement that the lime does to Modelo, it's the same thing with Corona. The lime enhances the flavor so much to me that it's not worth drinking without a lime. Like a Pacifico, I can drink without a lemon.
Yeah.
I prefer it with a lemon, but I can drink it without one. Blue Moon, I can drink Blue Moon without an orange. I prefer it with an orange. Modelo, I don't like to drink without a lime. Corona, I'll drink without a lime. I would much rather prefer it with a lime. And obviously, if Modelo is the only thing there and we don't have limes, like when we go to the Ozarks, I'll drink a Modelo.
I think it's more of just like the Mexican type beers that we have here are just they're so strong and in taste that I don't know if they taste bad. It doesn't taste bad to me. It just tastes okay. It's just they're such mid. Where adding things to them like the limes and the lemons, where just add to them significantly, and they become substantially better.
Well, Pacifico's not like that. Pacifico's already great, and then the lemon just adds a little bit to it.
I see.
I prefer lemon over lime when it comes to Pacifico. But like other beers, what's the other one? Shock Top. That one is good with an orange.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Really, I guess that would have been around the time you started coming around was when we had the big Shock Top phase, because Nathan drank it a lot at the first apartment. That was like a very common beer to have.
Nathan also drank a lot at the first apartment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From what I
yeah.
heard, the stories that they had, it was
I
it was
don't.
a very party every weekend kind of deal.
I don't want to talk too much about that apartment without Nathan being here.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because me and him are gonna have stories to tell because we hung out a lot. Because that was COVID. That was like right when they moved in. Right when lockdown started.
I also have a story from that apartment. I'm not sure if you want me to tell it because it does involve me and you. It's my first time meeting you. Do you want me to talk about that?
I would probably save it until after we've had Nathan on once.
Okay.
So we can kind of have some background information as to why that apartment was the way it was. Because that apartment it was just like mine and Dylan's first apartment and the first iteration of this house, where it was constant people over, and with their apartment, with Nathan's apartment, I was over there a lot. And again, me and Nathan will probably talk about that a little bit when he's on. But I vaguely remember the night we met.
I remember it in full force. It was great.
I was very, very drunk. I was also very new to drinking at that point. I had not done a whole lot of drinking up to that point. Because I did not drink early on. Like I waited until I was almost 21 to start drinking. I did not get drunk for the first time until I was 20. I was almost 21. I might have been really close to 21 by the time I like got drunk. And that was not like shit faced. That was like tipsy. Like because my parents at that point really didn't care. They would go buy me drinks. It was I guess no. I guess I did get drunk when I was 20. So I was 20 the first time I got drunk. And that story is not a podcast story.
No.
But like my parents would buy me they would keep like rum for me at the house because that's when I got into bamboo. That story, I'm sure at some point will be told on the podcast.
It sure as hell will be. I think it will be.
I think it might be a Nathan.
Yeah, it's a Nathan story.
Episode.
But long story short, my first time ever meeting Joey was at Nathan's apartment. He was shit faced. It was a lot. Nathan and TJ kind of left me alone. And I was with this random stranger in the apartment, and he was plastered. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this man. And after that, we became pretty good friends.
All I wanted to do was text my ex.
Yeah,
that was it. Nathan had to keep my phone away from me.
And then went into Nathan's room without me. Tarek was not there.
Yeah.
It was me, you, TJ, and Nathan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Tarek just left me alone with this random stranger, and he's belligerently drunk. And I'm like, I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah, those were still my rum nights. Those were the drinking, getting really drunk on rum, like straight rum, and then rum and Coke. Which I struggle to drink straight rum now after the bamboo incident. Which God, that's gonna be
a story.
I kind of forget that happened.
You forgot that it happened, but we all saw it happen. That's a Joey moment right there.
It is. No, it's absolutely a Joey moment. And that's one of, I think, the funniest Joey moments.
Among many.
How many have you witnessed? Like, have you
Quite a few.
been there to witness? Because Tarek told the story of me dropping the TV when we moved Chris and Mac to their current apartment.
Oh, I have a Joey moment. Last year at the Ozarks. I was in the basement for that one. So this man decided the Ozarks is a good time for everyone to get together. We drink a lot and we just live off the land for a little bit because it's like, how do I want to describe the Ozarks? It's a time away from everything that's happening.
Yes, it's an unplugged vacation. So for the most part, besides like recording stuff, like we'll keep our phones on us to record like videos. That way we have like the keepsakes. With us not doing like a annual video at the end of the year, we didn't do it quite this much this year. There was no cameras. Typically we bring cameras down. We didn't do any of that this year. But it's an unplugged vacation, and the way I've described it to people is, imagine the way a fraternity would act if you threw them onto a farm.
Yeah.
That's how it is. We have a good time. I don't want to say it's crazy. Like, I don't want to oversell it or like make it sound like it's, just drinking, because it's really not. Like, we go on the lake.
It's not a Project X type of deal. It's just a bunch of friends getting together. We drink, we get hammered, we have fun, we eat, and we go fucking do everything the hell we want to.
So, yeah, the story that he's going to tell, again, the first version of this podcast, because, again, this is the second take, was a lot less alcohol-focused. And I did want this week to be a little bit less, because last week was... Me and JC, we just... That is just how we hang out. When we hang out, it just ends up being us drinking. Again, I want to iterate that this is not a common thing. The Ozarks is a once-a-year trip. We go for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
4 days, 3 nights.
Yeah, 4 days, 3 nights. It's a very short trip. It is a unplug, and we do party a little bit. We do drink a little bit because we're on our own land. We're able to just kind of relax.
I don't think you have to like.
I just want to make sure that the podcast.
I know we drink. The podcast, we're old now. We're getting up there in age.
You know
we like going out to the Ozarks. It's fine to drink whatever the hell we want to. We don't drink every fucking night. We don't do it every fucking weekend. We drink occasionally, maybe once or twice a month, when we're all together.
Yep.
The Ozarks is a one-time thing a year. We go down there. We have as much fun as we want to.
So yes. So, and I'm going to kind of censor the story a little bit because there are some. Joey was stupid in the Ozarks last year.
Well, I will not give every single detail.
Yeah, I definitely think there are some things to withhold. And not like that, like, oh, this is like bad or like this is like illegal. No, it's just I was drinking and I kind of challenged myself to drink more than I have ever drank. And that was a bad idea. And looking back on it, it was a terrible idea. But the problem was I was already drunk when the challenge happened. Mm-hmm. And to nobody's fault. Nobody challenged me. Someone said something. It was more of a you shouldn't do that instead of don't. And what I needed to hear was a don't, not a you can't.
No,
it wasn't a you shouldn't. It was a oh you can't do that. And I was like, okay, watch me. So I got belligerently drunk, and I'm gonna condense the story a lot. Because
then I'll pick up the later half.
You'll pick up the later half. And again, I don't want to make this seem like I'm some crazy alcoholic or some crazy, degenerate. This has happened twice where I've thrown up like this. Because I did. I got so sick that I threw up. And, and people drink, when you're in your 20s, you drink and you learn kind of the way your body reacts to alcohol. And sometimes you overdo it. With drinking, sometimes you overdo it. The lesson to take from this...
Just don't do it again.
Well, don't do it again, but drink in moderation, right? Drinking to get drunk is fun sometimes. Drinking to have a buzz is more fun. Having that buzz, riding it out, constantly keeping, a drink to keep the buzz and staying there is a lot more enjoyable than being shit-faced.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you're shit-faced, it's just not fun. And, and I had... that little stint where every time I got drunk, I was shit-faced. And luckily I've come out of that because that is a very not fun place to be. But, this story, the Joey moment at the Ozarks, I just kept drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. Didn't help that I was playing catch up because I hadn't started drinking as early in the night as everyone else did. So I played catch up. So I speed run my drinking sometimes. I was going for the world record here.
Something assault.
I was going for the any percent run on getting drunk. And so it ended up, I think also part of the problem was not maybe how much I drank, it was the content that I drank. So there's a bottle called Jose Cuervo Margarita Mix.
The one.
And I really, really like the pre-mixed margarita mixes. They're really good. They already have tequila in them. They're not super strong. I think they're like 9%?
I think so.
I think they're like 9%. I know there's another brand that's like 13.9%. It's like almost 14, 15%. I think it's the bottle over there. I think we have a bottle of a Texas Craft.
Oh. Yuck.
Yeah, I've gotten... Christmas was 2 years ago was really fun on that because we had everyone over to the house and we just passed the bottle around when we played a drinking game. We just would pass the bottle around and it got to the point where there was not enough in the bottle. So we got a second bottle and started passing the second bottle around. So it was like just two bottles going in a circle. But again, back to the story, trying to tell it in as positive a light as I can.
How would you let me tell the story then?
Yeah, you know what?
So I'll paint in a light story. So this man decided it was a good idea just to keep drinking, challenge himself a little bit. And by the end of the night, he was in the grass, face down, And honestly, we should have just left you there.
Yeah.
Tarek should have just left you there. You probably would have been better off.
Yes.
But Tarek decided it was a good idea to bring you inside after drinking so much. You've had a little bit of water, but when did you get that deep?
A little bit of water is an understatement to high hell.
I was trying to give you the benefit of that one.
No. Like a little bit of water is an understatement. I was drinking so much water. I had a gallon of water attached to my hand. Like, yes, I was drinking the Jose Cuervo. I was drinking all the beers. The gallon of water did not leave my hand until almost the end of the night. I was constantly drinking water.
That also may have been like me just when I was around from when that was happening. I didn't see you with that gallon jug like for a little bit of time. Then I went back inside, and then was tired as fuck. And then you came in because Tarek had brought you in. Mm-hmm. You laid down on the bed, face first. Good thing you're down face first because being on your back and drunk is not a good idea.
No, never.
And then all of a sudden, I just couldn't go to sleep. So here's where the story gets kind of interesting. I hear water running, but no one's making any noises. It's not near the bathroom. And so I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? I look over at Nick, who was also like in his cot right next to me near the couch before the bed or before the basement was rearranged. And he just like, he perked his head up for a little bit. And he just looks over, surveying the land almost. And we're like, what the fuck was that? And then it happens again, but much more violently. And then we're like, oh shit, this is actually happening. Someone is puking in the basement. Rule 1 has been broken of Opa's land, which is Tarek's grandpa. Rule 1 has been broken. Someone is puking in the basement and they're not in the bathroom. And it wasn't Austin. He wasn't curled up near the toilet.
I threw up.
Joey had thrown up.
Yeah.
Second time that had happened, Joey's uncle, Chris. Chris is up and bolts over to Joey at the speed of fucking light. I've never seen a man. How heavy is he?
I don't know.
A little over 300 pounds?
Maybe.
A little over 300 pounds. I don't remember how big he is. Just bolts over to you. And I've never seen a man as large as he is move that fast to get to somebody. And by that point, you were like, I'm good, and you're just laying in your own fucking pool of vomit there.
Yeah. Oh God. You see, that's kind of stuff I didn't want to tell because again, it again, I'm not like an alcoholic.
No, it's just a one-off thing. It's just like
it happened.
That happens, and like I said, this is not a thing that happens every weekend or every night. This was once a year, and it didn't happen last year.
The throwing up's not once a year. The throwing up happened one time, and so after that, I walked to the bathroom and I threw up in the bathroom for the rest of the night. TLDR, we burned the mattress, we burned the pillow, we burned the comforter and the sheets and everything. So
the bed is gone; it no longer exists. I mean,
the evidence was destroyed.
In tandem with Eric breaking the bed the day before. Mm-hmm. So it's not just we didn't burn the bed because Joey had thrown up on it. We burned the bed because it was broken because Eric broke it the day of, or the day we got there, and then you threw up on it the second night. So there's like no point in keeping the bed or any of the bedding, the mattress, the frame of the bed, the pillows. The whole thing was just it was a shitstorm waiting to happen.
Sure.
Eric kind of opened the door for that opportunity to happen.
It was definitely an experience.
Mm-hmm. It was a very funny experience.
Changing perspectives a little bit, because obviously I have my Joey moments, but I am not the only one sitting here who has some weird habits.
Oh no,
weird things that has happened to us.
Throw them at me.
Oh, I'm throwing it at you because last night was fucking vile.
I do not care what any of you fuckers say.
So
Braden
gross.
will agree with me.
No,
I do not care.
So, last night you were hungry, which is A-okay. It's natural to be hungry. And we have frozen Totino's pizzas in the freezer. That's also cool because those taste really fucking good when you throw them in the oven. Instead of in the microwave and then eating them when they're still basically fucking raw.
I'll plead the fifth. Listen, I do not
was
care.
just
I was
vile. That is-
impatient.
Oh,
I wanted my pizza then and there. I do not care if it was raw. The hamburger was cooked. The cheese, it can be eaten fucking raw as fuck. The cheese can be eaten at any point in time. The bread, it was soggy. I don't really care. I don't care.
It was
I wanted
like
food.
eating wet pizza. Like someone soaked the pizza in water and you ate it. Mm-hmm. That's so fucking vile. I think that maybe
unapologetically me. I will go out and do that again if I want to. Like,
I know you will, because it's like the third time you've done it. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that me and you have lived together that you've done that. And every time you do it, a part of my soul dies. It hurts. I'm fat. I like food, and I like it when food tastes the way food's supposed to taste. Food is not supposed to taste like you dipped it in water and then took a bite out of it. Like, oh, my pizza went for a swim in the ocean. Nom 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 nom. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was hard to watch you eat that.
Listen, I like seafood. If my pizza swims, it swims.
To be fair, though, I also did gross things yesterday, and I ate Burger King. And that was I was really struggling to find something to eat last night. Because the only thing I wanted two things in particular. I wanted chicken tenders and I wanted burgers. That was it. And dude, oh my God, every place that has chicken tenders and burgers that was open at that, was closed. And then all the places that were open were just fucking outrageously expensive. Mm-hmm. Like I was trying to weigh my options, and it was all $30+. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to get Burger King. It's going to be like $20. And it was like, I think with tip, it was like $24, which is still a little bit more than anybody should ever pay for Burger King, because Burger King is garbage. Vile. Mm-hmm. But you know what? It hit the spot last night. I will say that is because I mean, you've had this conversation. Every about 6 months, I'll give Burger King a try, where I'm like, it can't still be this bad. Mm-hmm. And it normally is. Last night, that Burger King was actually not bad at all.
What'd you get from Burger King? Because I did see the chicken fingers. Mm-hmm. I didn't. Did you get a Whopper and fries?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I'm very basic at Burger King. I get chicken fries. I always get the 8-piece chicken fry or the chicken nuggets, because their chicken nuggets they're not great, but they're like lunchroom chicken nuggets.
I will say that
for how cheap they are
good, though.
Oh, dude, the ghost pepper nuggets? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And so I either get the chicken nuggets, chicken fries, and then I get a Whopper with bacon, add cheese. Typically, I do an Impossible Whopper, which always, the reaction of the cashier is always super funny when I do that. When I go, can I get an Impossible Whopper?
Well, you want a soy boy burger, huh?
When I go, can I get an Impossible Whopper with bacon and cheese? And they're like, the fuck? You know that's like a vegetarian burger, right? And I'm just like, yeah. Bacon and cheese, please. Mm. The Impossible Whopper tastes better. But on DoorDash, if I remember correctly, it's like an extra like $2 to do the Impossible Whopper.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not spending the extra money on DoorDash. But no, that was just, watching you eat that pizza, it killed my appetite for a little bit there. I was starting to be hungry, because it was kind of late when we ate, or when you ate. It was very late when I ate. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, he's eating. What's he eating? Oh, he's eating.
I'm eating like a fucking monster. I do not care. Tara gave me shit. You gave me shit. JC gave me shit, dude. I do not care. I was wanting my fucking food. I was wanting to eat a pizza. It was being microwaved because I didn't want to wait. Unapologetic about it.
That's very fair. You know, I can't blame you. I'm judging you. But
listen, you have Burger King. You have no room to judge.
Hey,
that's better, more detrimental to your health than the pizza I ate.
As long as it's not Long John Silver's.
True. But
you will never catch me eating Long John Silver's ever.
Literally, the only person who is giving Long John Silver's money is Henry, which is another one of our friends.
He's not, though. He hasn't. I think he said that we had this conversation before the Ozarks. I think he said the last time he ate there was like a year and a half ago.
It's the idea of Henry still eating Long John Silver's that keeps them giving money, like keeps them in business. Henry's their only customer, and it's a spear that keeps going back and getting food. He himself may have not physically eaten Long John Silver's. His spirit goes back every time. That's what keeps them in business.
You know, and it's crazy because they have like certain things that are okay, like the Hush Puppies. Those are good. I like the Hush Puppies. That's about it.
I cannot eat I cannot stand the smell or walking into Long John Silver's anymore. It looks dirty. It smells like fucking garbage. I cannot do it.
My parents used to get it when we were growing up, or
Same.
they would go pick it up, especially during Lent, because it was always cheap fish, and relatively cheap.
But see, back then it wasn't as bad.
No, now it's garbage now. It's
You might
gotten
as well
so
go
much
fucking
worse.
fish out of a dumpster and eat it like raw. You'd get more nutritional value out of that than eating Long John Silver's.
That is very, very fair. So I do want to kind of round out, because it looks like we're kind of getting to the point now where the video has just cut off.
Fantastic.
Which is fine. This happens every week. Because we're filming a second take, we're not doing an intermission. The lost video that's going to happen is fine. Because I'm going to wrap up now. But how does it feel that there's an entire hour of you talking that's just gone?
It hurts.
Like we had,
it really hurts.
Like, and I think the nice part about it is some of the stuff that we talked about, we'll get to talk about next time. Because the next time you come on, I want to talk about San Francisco in
New
detail.
Orleans
and New Orleans, yes. Mardi Gras was a lot of fun. Probably not Colorado, because Colorado...
Were you there for that?
I didn't go to Colorado the first time. I went on the bachelor trip, which is probably going to be something I want to talk about with Chris. Because I think my goal for Chris is going to be to have Chris and Jake on at the same time.
That's going to be chaotic. Good luck with that one, Chief.
I think that's kind of what I want to do, or at least at some point. So obviously right now I'm doing the one-on-ones. At some point I do want to do a series of dual guest podcasts, but
I feel like
that's
you should
going to be later on. Me and Tara kind of talked about that, what that looks like, but
I would just hit the single guest first and then start doing the dual.
Oh no, that's what we're doing.
Because I know Chris and Jake are the hardest people to get a hold of. First off, because they're so busy with their lives and their families. Jake has 2 kids. Chris has 1 kid. It's going to be near impossible to get them together sometimes. We did it for the lads video, and we had to plan that out like weeks in advance.
They'll be much more planned out, because right now it's just kind of like person of the week. That one will be when we have more than one guest, it'll be much more planned out. We also have another thing that we're planning that'll be more than one person, which I'm not going to talk too much about.
Spoilers.
Yep. Any closing notes for this week, though? Anything exciting that has happened or has been announced? Anything? Anything? Not the Twitch news. You shut your mouth. I know. I saw the twinkle in your eye on that one.
Nothing has happened as far as spectacular or like interesting. I've been kind of going through the motions a little bit. I mean, the Ozarks happened last couple of weeks. Here, I mean, I had to cancel my whole summer. Kind of tanked because I'm not going to Old Orchard this year. I had to back up on that. I have to save money for my car and shit like that. I will be going to New Orleans in October, though. I am taking Kim with me. It's the first time she's going out of state. Or not out of state, but first time she's going down out of our region. So, that'll be fun. I will be back here and there. We do have something special cooking up here soon. Hopefully, we can get that off the ground. As far as video games go.
I hope. I would really like to get the thing that me and you have planned to get going.
I will try and be here as much as I can for that. Like I said, most of the weekends,
especially because you said you were going to edit it. So, so unless you're taking your computer with you.
Well, you see the thing. Well, I have unlimited access to Adobe products now because I work for Bennington. I will just edit it while I'm at work. To be honest with you.
There you go. So, perfect. Well, I appreciate you being on. You'll probably be back sooner rather than later. You and JC, it's kind of easier to get you guys on than some of the other people who don't live in the house. But I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you bringing Sapporo. It was a good beer. I chugged the rest of mine the last quarter, and that was... I'm kind of glad the camera was off. That was rough.
Yeah, I can see it in your face.
It's not a chugging beer. But I appreciate everyone for the support the past couple weeks as we've gotten this podcast off the ground. And as Z said, we have something else that's cooking. So hopefully you keep an eye out on our social medias. If you want the links to those, you can go to our website at joymoments.com. And hopefully you will join us on that venture when it eventually comes out.
Yes.
I appreciate it, guys. And
our main like deadline. At least for me, I would like to get the first episode out before the summer ends.
Yeah, you busted my deadline.
Yeah, I know.
My deadline was the week of the 10th.
I busted your deadline for not only the podcast but for the thing we have cooking up too.
Yeah.
Live kind of just hit me.
No, it was fine.
And then it was really hard to do things.
Yeah.
I was able to get around this time because I had more free time.
Plus, I kind of you volunteered because I was getting ready to hunt down people. I was getting ready to start asking people to come on this week, and you were just like, "I'll be on." And I was
because I felt bad for missing
okay.
the first podcast.
Yeah. So yes, this was the guest that I insinuated about week 1. Mm-hmm. So
the Tizai.
Yep. Well, I appreciate everyone for listening, and we will catch you back next week for a regular episode of the podcast that does not have lost footage, hopefully.
Yeah, are you going to release that?
The blooper reel?
Or are you going to turn all of it into a blooper reel?
All of it into a blooper reel.
Okay.
I'm going to basically take the bits and pieces that I have. There's some stuff from before last week that was good, and then there's the stuff that we had happen this week, but yeah, I am going to actually outro it though. So, cuz I think we're at a good point to stop.
Okay.
So, I appreciate it, guys, for listening. And like I said, if you want to follow our social medias, that's joeymoments.com. Thanks for listening.
Uninstall Overwatch, please, and League of Legends.